Welcome. I'm so excited to have you all here. My name is Charu Jain. I work for Alaska Airlines, and I have the pleasure of leading our digital and innovation for the company. So today, I'm partnered with Nemo and David to share some exciting things with you. So first of all, let's start with who we are. So how many of you have traveled on Alaska Airlines? Okay, good. That's a good, about 30, 40% of the room. So for those of you who haven't, we are the 5th largest US airline. And actually, if you look around the world, we're 15th largest by revenue. We have 23,000 amazing employees. We serve about 45 million customers and guests every year. We travel to 120 plus destinations ourselves. And then we joined the One World Alliance. And in partnership with all our global carriers, you can go to 1,000 plus destinations. So that's the benefit of our loyalty program. So if you join our loyalty program, you can redeem and earn miles on any of these partners. So where do you guys want to go? Fiji? Okay. Any other ones? Japan, very good. I want you to think about that, and we will have time for questions later, and we have some goodies to give away for the most interesting questions. So that could take you there, hint, hint. And I also wanted to mention we're in the process of getting approval for our merger with Hawaiian Airlines. And so, assuming that the merger is approved, that really extends the reach of the combined airline across the world. And we really become a global carrier. And our cultures are so much the same. And, for Alaska, our North Star is our guests, caring for our guests. And everything we do is keeping that guest in mind. And last year when we were here, I spoke about creating a real-time data foundation where we've connected our guest data to our operations data. So at any point in time, we know what's going on with the guest. And we put that information in the hands of our employees because they see our guests most. And that gives the personalized experience of you know me, you know what happened to me, and you can do something about it. And then we also shared our partnership with Google and the modern retailing platform we're creating. And that is all for the guest. So we're really focused on care. Care is what we're known for. And going back to the Hawaiian announcement or the merger that we're working on, once it gets approved, the cultures of the two companies are so similar. Hawaiian is also all about the guest. So we're really looking forward to bring the power of the two together, assuming the merger goes forward. So I think it's that strive for caring about the guest that has won us a lot of awards. I'm so proud of our teams because this is the reflection of all of the work they do, and not just our tech teams. It's really our flight attendants, our customer service agents, our marketing team. We've gotten a lot of industry firsts, and these are all in the last 6 to 8 months since the last Google Next that we had. So we were the first airline to launch Tap to Pay on board, just to make it very easy for our customers to pay for food and beverage. We won some Innovation Pioneer Awards at FTE. We did win our website and app, both won J.D. Power Awards, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for both travel apps. And then we were recognized as the most innovative airline in the US. And I think it puts a lot of pressure. When you're recognized as the most innovative airline, you got to keep it up. So I want to talk a little bit about AI. AI is something that's been at the foundation of everything we've done for years and years, whether it is running a great operation, scheduling our resources, or optimizing revenue. So that's nothing new. That's at the heart of everything we do. So when genAI came along, and being the most innovative airline, we embraced it. We ran towards genAI versus running away from it. And we have launched a number of efforts to look at the power of genAI, We have sponsorship all the way from our CEO down. We have dedicated resources assigned to it. And what we're learning is we have created an 8-step process from all the way from selecting our ideas for which ones to go after, all the way to getting them productionized. And we're seeing a lot of promising things. We're using multiple models, so this is something we see in the future, that it's not going to be one answer, it's going to be many answers. And we started with internally facing opportunities. And we're seeing a lot of promise in our customer support and service. We're known for care, so we always are very careful about always having that choice for our guests. But we're seeing a lot of ways to support our customer support teams in being more efficient and being able to offer better care to the customers, and obviously in our development platforms. As we look at it from a customer-facing point of view, again, we wanted to look very carefully. We have a lot of trust with our guests, and we don't want to break that. So we started looking at how do we look at GenAI and its power for our guests. And we really see it accelerating our vision. So whether our guests are going through the airport with their favorite wearable, whatever it is in the future, and by giving them real-time information about their flight, wayfinding through the airport, giving them personalized offers, knowing that they like Starbucks and offering them an opportunity to do that if they have time, all the way to opportunities to rebook tickets easily, change my ticket to my mom's name. We know that today that's not an easy thing to do in the airline business. Whether you're in flight, looking at really understanding the in-flight experience and how we can personalize, whether you've been watching movies or overhead announcements, how do we make those more applicable to you, accessible to you? And then it all comes back to personalized service from our amazing frontline employees. So how do we give them all of that data so our flight attendants could have their own wearables and have all of the data about, is this customer, what's their mood meter? We have a mood meter that kind of says this person's going to be really unhappy because these are all the things that have happened to them, or this person should be happy. So this gives the flight attendants some sense of what that interaction might be with somebody, or they can use that to do service recovery with them, and then obviously offer them personalized service. So I think GenAI is something we really see accelerating this vision, and we're moving very fast towards it. So today, I'm really excited to announce that we're launching our very first customer-facing travel search AI-powered capability. And it's going to be, all of you that have booked travel, I think it feels very transactional. You decide where you want to go, and then you go to the airline website, and then you search for the best flight for you. So there's a huge opportunity to make that a seamless experience. And you don't have to go through 20 clicks and 5 pages, and you can define your constraints up front and really make it easy if you want to book a flight for a family of 5 and you want to do it under $500 and you want to go to a beach destination. So those are some of the capabilities that we'll be launching. If you're interested in trying it out in the beta, please do let us know. Over here, the team's sitting, because we'd love to get feedback from you, because this is going to be a journey as we roll it out. So with that, I want to invite our very talented Director of Software Engineering, Nemo Hajiyusuf. She and David Nguyen from Google are going to really tell you the how and the what of how this is going to work.
Is it working? Can you guys hear me? Yes. Well, 30,000 people and you made it, so thank you for tuning in. Following that remarkable vision that Charu just talked about, I'm here to talk about how we're taking that inspiration and turning it into reality. So when you think about the world of planning travel, especially when you have flexible destination and you don't have specific place to go, and you want to be inspired, I want you to think about this. What if every journey during that planning starts with inspiration and discovery, where travel choice is already personalized for you, and the whole planning process is as effortless as natural conversation? Wouldn't that be amazing? It's not a dream, it's a reality that we have been working on. Alaska Airlines alongside Google Cloud to reshape the travel experience. And so a little bit of a year, we joined forces on this transformative journey to reshape what that means. And like Charu said, at Alaska Airlines, everything we do is centered around guests. So we developed this vision with guests in mind. It's fueled by innovation. We're using the latest, greatest, actually bleeding edge technology from Google Cloud, Gemini Pro, paired with our modernized platform and Alaska's rich data to create more intuitive, inspiring travel planning process. And today, I'm so excited to share with you the result of that collaboration. And we're going to share with you in real examples. But before I do that, let's take a step back and talk about the problem that we are trying to solve. So when you are thinking about the flexible destination and you planning your next big adventure or vacation, here is kind of high-level travel planning process that one can go through. It usually starts with a spark. I call it the trigger. The moment you think about, I want to go somewhere, and then you look at your choices, compare options, and at some point you refine your needs and you're ready to choose, and so on and so forth. But during this whole planning process, going from spark to destination is not an easy job. In fact, navigating through that sometimes looks like navigating a maze of options. I say that because I experienced it. I want to share with you a personal experience. Last summer, my family decided we want to go fun getaway, and I was planning the trip. We were very flexible where to go, and the dates is even as long as they fall within the summer time frame. So, very quickly during that planning process, I figured out balancing between kid-friendly activity for our two beautiful children, things we want to do when we get there, and in general, experience that felt tailored for us was very challenging. I had 10 tabs open, comparing different options, clicking multiple things just to get to that tailored experience. And, that shows the gap in it. So quick survey. How many of you, while you were planning in that big vacation, felt you were drowned in the sea of options available for you? Raise your hand. Look at that. I can raise both of my hands, to be honest with you. Even though there is so much information out there, there isn't enough inspiration, right? It really feels logistical dilemma, even for the most tech-savvy travelers like me. So, driven by our unwavering commitment to our guests to provide the most premium experience possible, we are on a mission to change that. And what all that came together is creating, first of all, this shows you if the area of opportunities is spark and exploration and experience. If you know your choices and maybe you have flexible dates, we have premium experience for you. This is because across the industry, the travel planning process starts with shop, book, and that's choose section. There's a huge gap outside of that. So when we thought about this, ultimately what it came together is creating our first groundbreaking experience. the natural language destination search. Here, the power of Google Cloud allows us to literally turn experience on its head, giving you the power and the platform to compare your trip options such a way that's tailored for you from the get-go and using your own natural words. You get that instant data to inspire you and help you decide. genAI, the cornerstone of this innovation, helps us to know what matters to you in this moment, not generally, but within a specific context, your current search. That's powerful. It gives us a level of personalization that's immersive, intuitive, and inspiring. And you're right, this is not another chatbot. It's really fully redefined, fully reimagined user-centric experience, taking the travel experience into new heights. And planning that your perfect getaway is as effortless as a natural conversation. I wish I had this tool when I was planning that trip. And here, to see all that in action, I want to invite David from Google Cloud Consulting and Innovation to show its first preview. Welcome to the future of travel.
Thank you, Nemo. And thank you for everyone for spending time with us today. My name is David. We've been talking about Spark. I thought the best way to start this demo is for us to explore our own Spark. So if you could think back with me, join me, go back to that project that was really long, really hard, that milestone deadline is coming really soon, and that clock on the wall is ticking down. Just how hard you worked on this project. And if you're anything like me, you realize, man, I'm going to need to recharge these batteries after this milestone deadline passes. So we start to daydream. What is it you're doing? Are you hiking? Are you scuba diving? Are you at your favorite tech conference? Who are you with? Are you with your friends? Are you with your family? What do you smell? What do you feel? Is this your spark? Feels pretty good, right? Okay, come back to me. I know we're all in a good place, but come back to me because I do want to share with you our latest tech. If we can switch over to the demo, please. This is what we call, oh, sorry, this is my laptop. It went to sleep. It's also daydreaming, yes. Okay, can we go back? Thank you. This is what we call natural language destination search. It is powered by Gemini. And I know when you see a map on an airline website like this, like Nemo said, your first instinct might be to type in something like Austin or Boston or Chicago, etc. And for destinations, or for guests where they know exactly what their destinations are, maybe even what ticket they want to buy, Alaska Airlines has nailed this experience. But we wanted to expand that. We wanted to meet our guests where they are, even if it's at the Spark stage. So for me, here, I can type in something like woodsy cabin getaway. This is my Spark. Natural language destination search is going to get to work. It uses Gemini to understand what that Spark is as entered by natural language. Natural language destination search then coordinates the worldly knowledge of Gemini, the specific knowledge of Alaska Airlines, and most importantly, information we know about our guests. And it makes recommendations that it thinks will help make that Spark a reality. Idaho, Washington, Montana. If you're a camping or cabin fan, you might realize these are really cool destinations to go to. Now, it's not just a one-off experience. It's not just a once-and-done experience. We really want to be able to support exploration with this. And so if I type in something like, I just saw a documentary on bioluminescent sea creatures, where can I go to see that IRL? It's going to share with me some results. And you can see I switched the style in which I entered this language, right? I went more conversational than I did versus before where I went keyword search. And it's going to, and either way, it's going to understand because it's powered by Gemini, and it makes a lot of great recommendations. And as I look at this, and only after I look at this do I realize that my Spark may not necessarily be based in Mexico, It may not be a flight over the ocean, but what I probably want to do is stay within the contiguous US. What a strange filter to apply, right? Probably something no designer would add into their website, but with natural language, I can go ahead and add that directly in the contiguous US. And it's going to get to work. I've discovered something new about my Spark. I've shared that with natural language destination search, and you could see immediately, no special filters, no special widgets, et cetera, just natural language. It's now going to make recommendations within the contiguous US. Okay, I want to go back to a fairly common pain point that Nemo mentioned. When we plan trips, of course, we want to take into account our own Spark, but we don't just plan for ourselves. We travel with our families. We travel with our friends. And figuring out the right place where everyone is going to be happy is going to be the most difficult part of any trip planning journey. Well, let natural language destination search do the heavy lifting for you. Let's say I want to go mountain biking. My partner wants to go hiking. We all want to eat great food. We're getting tired of the West Coast, maybe. We want to explore the East Coast, so let's focus on East Coast. And no one has unlimited money, so let's keep our flights under $200. Sounds complicated, right? Now, natural language destination search is going to get to work. It's going to do its best to accommodate all of those Sparks. Now, sometimes things aren't solvable, but it's going to do its best and do most of the heavy lifting for you. Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. These do sound like pretty good places to fulfill that. All right. Now, let's say your Spark was space travel. What Alaska Airlines, what natural language destination search will never do is recommend a flight to the moon. And it's unfortunate, and hopefully this changes soon, but there are currently no tickets to the moon. So you can see the response here is, I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill this request. Of course, we're always going to make recommendations. These recommendations are based on what we know about you, what we know about Alaska Airlines, what you've told us so far, but of course it's not going to recommend destinations to the moon. And it's really important that as we design this experience, we're only recommending things that Alaska Airlines can actually fulfill. The factuality that we're grounding ourselves here is actually availability of tickets and flights. And so we use a feature within Gemini called function calling, where every time we make a recommendation, we first call our flights API. We ensure that there is an available ticket to that destination. We get the price at the same time. And so what you see here is not just the recommendation, but a link to the ticket. This price is available. You can buy that ticket today, right now, if you like. So that is the basic functionality of natural language destination search. I do want to share a few other features, but for that I need another Spark. So maybe I can ask Nemo to come back on stage with me for a second. Nemo, come back up here. A few minutes ago, I asked you to daydream of what you would be doing after we finish this really wonderful but awesome project. But we're going to hit our milestone soon, and we're going to have a chance to recharge. What was your Spark? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so my daydream, usually I say sunny beaches and stuff like that, but I was thinking about maybe immersing myself in the culture where I go. So some cultural places, museum, arts, and of course, I want to try good food.
We did not prepare for this at all.
You need something, right?
So immerse myself in culture, museums, art, great food. Natural language destination search is going to get to work. Of course, with all of our experiences, we do want to make sure that our guests are engaged. We're providing them with all the experiences they can to immerse themselves in the destinations before they get there and to visualize themselves there. And so we're seeing a lot of integrations here that are outside of Gemini. Many of our guests like to interact with their destinations through maps, and so we have a tight integration with Google Maps here. Along with every destination recommendation, you also get a really beautiful image, so you can start to see and get the vibe of what those destinations look like. But if you look up here, you also see this little camera, and if we click on it, you actually get to see what it might be like to fly into that destination before we even take off. And this is also available on the Google Maps platform. It's AI enhanced, bringing together a lot of the imagery data that we have along with destination data to really produce this aerial view and get our guests immersed in this destination. Okay, I want to go back to Gemini and the text. Take a look at this copy here on the right. This copy is meant to help introduce you to New York City. It is generally written a long time ago by someone who has no idea who you are, with no idea why you're visiting today. But if you take a look at this copy, New York City, cultural melting pot, satisfy your craving for art, museums, foods. It'll make some recommendations for you along those lines. This copy should sound extremely relevant to the Spark that Nemo just shared with us. And that's because this copy wasn't written a long time ago by someone who's disconnected from this particular session. It was written by Gemini right now based on what we know about Nemo, Alaska Airlines, and the world. We write that copy for every single recommendation we make, and we write it every time we make a recommendation. We truly are trying to speak your language. And when I say speak your language, I mean it, because the natural language understanding and content generation is dynamically generated by Gemini. Let me see, I forgot all my Chinese. Directly understood and written by Gemini, this web page also understands and generates dynamically in any language that Gemini supports. And so if I type in 好吃的东西, which is delicious food in Chinese, it will A, understand it, B, to the point where it can make recommendations, and C, what you're going to see is the content itself is also written in Chinese. Alaska Airlines has guests from all over the world, going to all over the world. We want to meet our guests wherever they may be, Spark or knowing where they want to go, and in any language they want to speak. So that's natural language destination search. No chat box, but I hope you can see how Gemini helped drive understanding, helped generate recommendations based on worldly knowledge integrated with Alaska data and customer data, grounding itself in factuality with function calling, and generating copy in real time. So that's our demo. I will turn it back to Nemo.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Well, no technical presentation is complete without some sort of architectural diagram. So for all my fellow tech nerds, this is for you, right? I'm not going to go through it in detail, but if you really like to see how the sausage is made, catch up with us after the session, and we're happy to talk to you. But I want to reflect a little bit about our last 3 months on how we get here. We started many different prototypes, and like we said, always centered around our guests. We get their feedback and radically change those prototypes based on those feedbacks. We actually started with a chatbot. We said, our guests would like chatbot. And then they told us, no, we need an immersive experience. And that's how we ended up the natural language destination search. But it's worth noting, the experience that you saw today, we went from inception to that production level quality in a matter of weeks. That's really impressive speed time. And it's not because of the genAI, it's all the infrastructure behind it. At Alaska Airlines, we were kind of ahead of the curve. Visionary leaders like Charu started a tech modernization vision a few years ago. So we modernized our entire tech stack, going from monolith to microservice cloud-native solutions. That put us in a good place where we can tap into any new technology and seamlessly integrate with our platform. So that was number one that enabled this speed of time. The second is we've been working with Google not only for this engagement, but many years, actually decades. We use a suite of platforms from Google. For example, Google Flights powers our shopping engine. That's a rich data to ground any recommendation in truth. We started building the customer data platform, We had disparate data initially. We centralized it in a big query in GCP, and we built a set of intelligence on the top of that, using machine learning algorithm and creating that recommendation platform. And as you can see, we're using Google Maps and Google Places API to create that rich, immersive experience. All of that together, when Gemini Pro came in, it seamlessly integrated with our platform and creating that final glue to take the experience to the next level. And that's what created this experience. I want to leave with you this. This is the power of creating delight for our guests. We proud ourselves to be a premium brand airline. And that requires us, our experience, to match that. So with all the new technologies that you see today, our grounding principle is to continue providing the best premium guest experience possible. Technology will evolve and change. We barely scratch the surface of GenAI, but imagine experience tailored for you, your needs, your budget needs, maybe your dietary requirement, or your concern is carbon footprint. The possibilities are endless. Thank you so much.